So Kiffin's daughter, Miss Landry Kiffin, shout out to her, she has been spotted at an LSU Women's Booster Club meeting. If Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss in the midst of a playoff run, it's gonna get ugly. And I mean, it's gonna get ugly quick. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Thursday night, or some of you having a great Friday morning. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man. We got some big time breaking news to talk about, or I think a better way of saying it would be, it's a developing story. I'm staying up extremely late. The MBG Sweatshop is grinding 24/7. Clap it up to the MBG Sweatshop. We gotta get this video edited and uploaded. It is gonna be uploaded late, but like we say on the channel, it is what it is. This news just started happening around 8, 9, 10 p.m. And I'm almost certain by Friday morning we're gonna have some updates on it, but for now at least, we gotta go over everything that has transpired. And guess who it involves? Our boy, the Kiffinator. Yes, that's right, you heard me correctly. The Kiffinator, the Lane Train, the professional Gooby Goober, whatever you want to call him. We got a wild, and I mean a wild and bizarre situation with him, and let's just say, things have done a 180. Most of y'all already know this. We are on the push for 400,000 subscribers, so if you're new to the channel or simply you've been watching and not subscribed, consider joining our community. We'd greatly appreciate it, and we'd love to have you here. Subscribing to the channel is 110% free, doesn't hurt you, and it helps us grow. It's a win-win. But let's get straight into this, shall we? We got to talk about this original report that came out that had me rubbing my eyes to make sure I was reading it correctly. I was like, wait a minute. What? I'm going to read this off word for word so there's not any confusion. New. Lane Kiffin's future could affect Ole Miss's playoff seeding. Sources tell Clow, which is Chris Lowe. Or I guess a better way of saying his username would be CeeLo, but you get the point. I just call him Clow whenever I see that. Continuing along, and I quote, "If you're settling without your head coach when they do the final seeding, the coach who's gotten you to that point, then they could definitely drop you in the seeding order and put you on the road." No, your video's not muted. I'm just flabbergasted at this. I don't even know what to make out of it. Let's start with this. Would I fault the committee for doing that? I don't know. It depends on who would be jumping them, but here's the thing. I think we can all agree you're not going to be as good. I'm not going to say it's going to hurt you too much, but you're not going to be as good as a team without the guy who's gotten you there, the captain of the ship. I think that's more unfair to say, but deranking a team because their head coach leaves? It's such a unique situation, and we've never had something like this happen before. There's so many avenues you could go down with this, but the first one and the immediate one everybody's bringing up is, well, that's not fair because the players, they can't control that, and that's a good point. Oh, here's a great comment. Is it too much to ask the committee to simply rank teams based on the outcomes on the field and not worry about rushing yards per game or potential coaching changes? Apparently so. I agree with that 10,000%. If you don't know what he's referencing, the committee stated, and trust me, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that video. They gave Notre Dame the head-to-head nod over Alabama because Alabama is struggling running the football. Don't even get me started on that. Do not get me started. Absolutely not true. If the team wins out, you can't justify dropping them 3+ spots no matter who's coaching. On 3 has been extremely disappointing with their rush as freight reports lately. Sad to see the fall off in real time. Ooh, what do y'all think about that? Throwing some shade towards On 3. Fortunate enough for you guys, and I always have to say this, I don't make these headlines. I don't come up with the news. I'm the messenger. I'm just here to report the news, feed you guys information. We talk about it a little bit, but like I always say, do as you please with this information I present to you. I'm not going to read off any more comments. Here's what I will say, and we got to get a move on to some Lane Kiffin stuff that is ongoing as to when I'm speaking. If Ole Miss wins out, and let's just say, hypothetically speaking, for the sake of this video, that Kiffin, he leaves Ole Miss. Ole Miss is 11-1. If I were a part of the committee, would that change my perspective on this Ole Miss football team? Not really. And when I say not really, I mean not at all. I think the only thing we can compare it to is Florida State losing their starting quarterback. But that's different because that's something that can hurt Florida State, or it did hurt Florida State on the field. Kiffin's a mastermind, but he's not out there actually playing. You still have your starting quarterback, starting running back, wide receivers, defense, etc., etc. That's my 2 cents on that, but you got to take a look at this. So Kiffin's daughter, Miss Landry Kiffin, shout out to her, she has been spotted at an LSU Women's Booster Club meeting. Apparently and allegedly, and I'm going to say that because I haven't seen too many people confirm this up until this point, this happened today, which I think we can all agree it's fairly interesting, but I want you to take a look at this. Matt Zenitz, who is a very reliable reporter, you don't see us talk about him a lot because he doesn't tweet out a lot, and if he does say something, you better hold this, it holds weight, because he doesn't come out with all these outlandish takes, rumors, and stuff like that. But shout out to Matt Zenitz, he tweeted out and it's going viral. If/when, I want you to take a look at this. If/when, I'll come back to that in just a second. Lane Kiffin is hired as LSU's head coach. LSU is open to former Tigers head coach Ed Orgeron being part of Kiffin's staff, sources tell CBS Sports. Kiffin and Orgeron have a long-standing relationship. What is happening? Is this a dream? This doesn't even seem real. Kiffin and Orgeron leading the LSU Tigers. Go Tigers, shout out Ed Orgeron. What is happening? Let me clarify. This isn't some troll on Twitter. No, this is Matt Zenitz. This is according to CBS Sports. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Kiffin, a.k.a. the professional goofy goober himself, I don't put anything off the table. Like, anything can happen. Nothing's going to shock me. But this right here, I didn't expect it. Orgeron? Here's the crazy part about it. I don't mean it in a bad way. I love it. I'm all here for it. It's just something I didn't expect to see today. I think Orgeron would be a heck of an assistant. He's just not that great of a head coach, which we already knew that. But man, oh man, he's a guy you love to have in your locker room, and he's already stated that he wants to get back into coaching. I think this would be a heck of an opportunity for Orgeron to rebound and just revive his career. But golly, I can't get over that. Seeing Orgeron and Kiffin wearing them LSU colors, just working together, being fired up. Oh my gosh, that would be a sight to see. I'm getting excited about this, and I'm not an LSU fan. And let me know in the comment section if you are an LSU football fan, if you're a Tiger fan out there, how do you feel about this? Because I feel like that fan base still loves Orgeron, even though he kind of went out sad. He did. Wasn't a good ending or whatnot, but it was just one of those things where the ship has sailed. But I think LSU fans would love to have him back, and they'd welcome him in with open arms. As far as it goes for Kiffin, LSU fans want him. They've been clamoring about him the past couple of weeks. Heck, I think they're ready to build a statue of Kiffin right now, and he hasn't even coached a game for him. Here's where things really get interesting, and it's why I think we're going to get an update on this by, I'd say, tomorrow afternoon, if not tomorrow morning. Ole Miss's athletic director and Lane Kiffin are scheduled to have a meeting Friday, which is tomorrow. What's going to go on in this meeting? No idea. If I had to give my best educated guess, yeah, they're most definitely going to be talking about the LSU job, and it seems like I can't even throw the Florida one in there because that seems off the table. It's just the LSU one. And we've seen all the reports coming out of how Ole Miss has apparently and allegedly as well, because I have to say that. I think he denied it on the Pat McAfee show that Ole Miss was giving him an ultimatum. He's got to give them a decision by this Friday, whether or not, or not this Friday, my apologies, before the Egg Bowl, on whether or not he's going to remain as a head coach of Ole Miss or he's going to go elsewhere. Maybe, and there's just a maybe, there is some substance to that, and this is what that meeting's about. To me, I have no idea. But my gut's telling me we're going to find out a lot tomorrow afternoon. This is going to be the meeting where Lane Kiffin tells his AD, hey, I am interested in the LSU job, but you know what? I'm going to stay, and that's going to be all she wrote. Or it's not going to go over so well, and it's going to be a very bad breakup. Because let's establish this right now and make it very, very, very clear. If Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss in the midst of a playoff run, it's going to get ugly, and I mean it's going to get ugly quick. I feel like, and if you're an Ole Miss fan, I'm curious, enlighten us in the comment section, but I feel like Ole Miss fans, they're kind of irritated with all this going on, and he's still the head coach of Ole Miss. It can't be a good feeling to know that your head coach of your favorite team is being talked about like this, and he's in all these job opening rumors. It feels like 24/7 at this point. And it's not even just like this is a one-time thing. It happens every other season at Ole Miss. Every other season. I'm tired for Ole Miss fans, and I'm not an Ole Miss fan. So let me know in the comment section. How do you feel about all this? Here's my 2 cents on it. Y'all know my stance on it. I don't care about all this information. I don't think Lane Kiffin's going anywhere. I think he's staying at Ole Miss. I've said it since day one, and I'm going to continue to say that. I believe Lane Kiffin is weighing his options. That's what's going on here, and he's most definitely interested. I never said he wouldn't be interested. I just don't think he's leaving. We all know the job that Kiffin wants. We know. I'm not going to say it, because if you're a ball knower, you know exactly what job I'm talking about. And if that school called him, he would leave that minute. He would schedule a flight during the call. I'll keep you guys updated. Like I said, we'll find out a lot tomorrow. But yeah, I guess you could say this is some good news for LSU fans. Let me know your thoughts down below. But